On this episode of In the Studio, we go over some Hellraiser presets. What's going on, everybody? Long time no see. Fluff here, and we are back with another episode of In the Studio. And to celebrate the release of the brand new Bassforge Hellraiser plugin, we're going to go over some of the presets for Hellraiser made by Mr. Joey Sturgis himself. So I have an example track. This is the track that I happen to use for the PV Invective amp, which is actually just directly behind me. And we're not going to focus on the guitar. Instead, we're going to focus on the bass tone. So here's how the song sounds currently. Okay, but I'm going to mute those guitars, unfortunately, because we're going to focus on the bass. Now here's how it sounds with my current setting with Hellraiser, my own personal preset that I have been using. Okay, now what you are hearing is Hellraiser on one track, my DI2. I have a DI track by itself, naked, nothing on it, and I'll explain why in a second. And then those two tracks are being bussed to Joel Wanasek bus glue, and that's it. That's all you are hearing. Now, to quickly touch on the reason why I have a separate track for the DI, when there is a mix knob in Bassforge, in Hellraiser, the reason why I like to kind of split them is because sometimes I will automate the level of the DI up or down depending on the specific song or part. And so thusly, I like to have a separate DI track in parallel to whatever affected bass track I have. So let's get into some presets. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, I can't count, presets that come with Hellraiser, and we're just gonna go over some of them. Now, you've already heard Fluff Clanky, which is kind of a modified version of the Hefty Clank. So we're just gonna start with the Brute Boy. And here's how this sounds. Now that's meant to be like an SVT style fat bass tone. It's especially good for P basses. Next, we are going to roll into Demons in Me. This preset is crazy. Okay, that will cut like a knife in a mix. Next, we have Devil's Rock. It's a little bit more pulled back. It's not quite as fuzzy. I think that's really meant for non-crazy detuned rock, as implied by the name. Next, Hefty Clank. Hefty Clank is like, it's the one. Now, what I like to do, depending on the bass and depending on the part, I like to add some of those mids back in. Check this out. Nothing crazy, but I like a little mid-range in my bass tones, depending, if it's appropriate. Next, we have Hellwalk. I like that one a lot because you can build off of it really easily. That's just a really middle of the road kind of gritty bass tone. That is my second favorite preset. Maximum Destruction is next. Woo! Fuzzy. Next and lastly, we are going to go to Warm Lava. There's a real emphasis on the low end for that preset, which I really, really like. So if you have, you know, a not super great bass, Hellraiser still has you covered. These presets are just bass lines with which to build your tones on. Feel free to change them, mix them however you'd like, and get the best sound you can. But rest assured, Hellraiser has your back. Pretty fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I hope you do too. All the pickable links down below in the description. And for more info on this and all Joey Sturgis tones, feel free to visit joeysturgistones.com.